You walk into your school one morning and the silence hits you harder than any parent's complaints ever could. Empty classrooms, cold corridors, desks that used to buzz with energy now sit lifeless. Let's be honest, few things crush a school owner's heart like watching enrollments dwindle. But here's the twist. That exact nightmare became my reality. And it's how I discovered this blueprint of how to revive my dying school. If your school is struggling to fill seats, or you're terrified of opening your doors to an empty building, then this story is exactly what you need. Because today, I'm going to walk you through the exact steps that I took to turn my almost abandoned school into a vibrant, overflowing learning community, and how you can copy every single one of them. Get your pens ready. I've been in education for over a decade. I've built schools from scratch. I've stepped into classrooms, and as a teacher, yes, I've sat in that lonely office wondering if this is the end. But I didn't quit. I rebuilt. And since then, I've helped dozens of school owners do the same. So when I tell you these strategies, and when I tell you the work, it's not theory, it is battlefield experience. So here are the secrets. 1. Face the brutal truth heads on. Here is the first step. Stop sugarcoating the situation. Face it heads on. When my school started using all this stuff, when we lost students, my first instinct was denial. I blamed the economy, I blamed parents, I even blamed teachers. But deep down, I knew the truth. The school had grown stale. Our programs were outdated. Our energy had dropped. And our communication with parents had become robotic. You know what I mean? The turning point came when I walked through every classroom during a break period. I saw teachers tired, children disengaged, and posters from 5 years ago still hanging on the walls. That day, I made a decision. I will not lie to myself again. Here is the step to take. Take one honest walk through your school. Observe everything, not as a school owner, but as a critical outsider. Write down what feels uninspiring, neglected, or outdated. Don't defend, don't justify, just observe. It will sting, but revival starts with that truth. Let's go to point 2. Reignite the core culture. The energy must change. Once I faced the reality, I knew programs wouldn't fix the problem. Culture would. People don't enroll their children into schools. They enroll them into experiences. So I started with the staff. I called for an honest, no-blame meeting. I told them, look, this place has lost its spark, and I need your help to bring it back. We started celebrating small wins again. We introduced weekly star shout-outs. We organized morning assemblies to be vibrant, student-led, and full of life. Within weeks, the atmosphere shifted. You could feel it. And even parents, they noticed it. What should you do? Identify 3 small habits that you can revive immediately. It could be lively assemblies, teachers' appreciation, clean and bright learning spaces, or even simple student showcases. Culture is contagious. Once the energy changes inside, the world outside starts paying attention. Can I tell you point 3? Rebuild trust with parents, because communication is everything. Now let me tell you one painful truth. When parents pull their children out, it's rarely because of fees. It's usually because of broken trust. During our decline, I noticed parents have stopped responding to newsletters. PTA meetings were half empty. Rumors spread faster than the facts. So I made a bold move. I personally called the parents who had left. I asked one simple question. What made you leave? So conversations were brutal, but they were gold. I discovered that parents felt unheard. They didn't feel part of a community anymore. Now, this is what you should do about that. Create a listening campaign. For the next 2 weeks, personally or through a trusted team member. Reach out to your parents, current and past, and listen. Don't defend, just take notes. These acts of publicity give parents that feedback that will help you turn action and build your trust fast. Within long term, we saw a 30% return rate from previously lost families, not because we advertised, but because we listened. Point number 4. Hope you're writing. Launch a smart visibility campaign. Tell your news story. Yeah. Once the culture shifted and trust was being restored, it was time to let the world know. But here is the mistake many school owners make. They try to market an old story. No! When your school revives, your story must change. We started sharing powerful stories online. Videos of students leading events. Photos of vibrant assemblies. Teacher testimonials. We trained staff to become school ambassadors. Cool. You heard that? Every conversation they had outside the school became an opportunity to share the news story. We held an open day event, not to beg for admissions, but to showcase transformation. Parents came conscious, curious, and they left impressed. So this is what you should do. Build a 2 weeks visibility plan. Decide how you are going to share stories. Social media, community events, WhatsApp broadcast, or school tours. Keep it real. Keep it positive. But remember, people won't believe your revival until they see it. So show them. I say it again. Show them your revival. Point 5. Innovate programs that excite, not just educate. Finally, to keep the momentum, we introduced fresh programs that gave parents a reason to talk. They like to talk. Not expensive projects. No. Strategic innovations. For example, we launched a Young Innovators Club. Kids work on simple projects, presented them monthly, and parents were invited. We revamped Reading House into a reading adventure challenge where students earned badges. Suddenly, all of a sudden, parents were sharing videos, kids were excited to come to school, and enrollment inquiries started flooding in. We were still in the middle of the term. It was flooding in. Here is what you do to identify one of those patterns you can start afresh. Introduce something that will make parents say, this is different. You don't need 10. Just one strong, exciting initiative can become the spark that lights the fire. Let me recap everything I've said. This, the brutal truth. Revival starts with honest observation, not excuses. Reignites the culture. Energy inside the school determines how the outside world perceives you. Rebuild parents' trust. Communication and listening well will bring families back faster than discounts ever could. Tell your news stories. Visibility must match the revival happening inside. Innovate programs. Give parents and students something to talk about, something worth sharing. If you apply these 5 steps consistently, your empty classrooms won't stay empty for long. I have a book titled The Ultimate Educator's Guide. What I've shared to you today is just a fraction of what's inside that book. It's an award-winning book, my best-selling book. In the book, I break down the systems I use to rebuild not just one, but multiple schools, from struggling to thriving, in practical step-by-step detail. So, if you found today's session valuable, the book will give you the full framework to transform your school completely. Check the link in the description to grab your copy.
Yeah.
Check the link in the description. If this video spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit the subscribe button so you never miss another strategy-packed session. Like the video, it really helps us to reach more school owners and teachers. And share this truth with anyone who is fighting to keep their school alive. You might be giving them the key they've been praying for. Remember, revival is possible.